What's going on, guys? Zyra here, and into this video I will be giving you the best champions for SoloQ for patch 12.15. So let's get started. Starting up with the AD carry role. This role had been touched a bit in the patch, so the following best champions are champions that were not nerfed for a while since almost all of the other AD carries got nerfed in the last months. The best champion on this role for SoloQ is Zyra. Well, he has a huge amount of damage. Currently the long range meta is very off. He can be good with both enchanters and engagers, doesn't have too many counter picks on the bot lane, so if you can put in the hours to master him, he will reward you really hard with some good climbing, as he's one of the best AD carries for SoloQ right now for this meta. The second champion for this meta is Varus. He is super good. He's very underrated. Right now he's good from behind, can provide utility with his kit in every single team camp position. He has good skirmishes. He can go crit build, which is by far the best build on him. AP build as well, lethality as well. He can go. So if you ever thought about maining him, now is the time. Almost every single AD carry got nerfed. He wasn't touched at all. So definitely he is in a very good state right now. The last champion for AD carry is one AD carry that was and will always be good in the last 5 months, but also in the next 5 months. In my opinion, the champion will remain consistently good. Shen is always going to be good if you want to main a champion that can always survive every single meta, that will never be useless, that will never be out of meta, then he is your champion. Going for support. Support is also pretty touched a lot in this patch. The best champion for support after the buffs is Leona. Leona is a champion that works with every single AD carry. She still has a pretty decent damage even after she was touched in the last patches, and with this current buff she can easily be really good for SoloQ, especially because of your ability to roam due to her high mobility kit. So if you like the champion and you want to pick her up, let's say you know a little bit about roaming and you really like support, then Leona is a good champion for you if you want to carry your games. The second champion that can smash SoloQ really hard is Zyra. The AP Zyra, if played correctly, has a huge amount of damage. She can carry the lane very easy. She also works with every single AD carry in the game. She has good skirmishes, so if you can put in the time to learn her, she will carry your games extremely hard. The last mention for the support role, the third champion that was always good for support and no one knows about it, no one talks about it, is Zilean. He's also a very underrated champion. I actually think that people know that he's broken, he's so good, but they just don't play it. It's like you know that eating an apple every day is good for your health, but you're still not doing it. That's Zilean for League of Legends basically. He's extremely good for climbing, extremely good for improving, so if you want a champion that no one knows that he's broken, then Zilean is your best bet. Moving into the top lane, the best champion is Mordekaiser. This champion can smash a lot of lanes without too much skill. It is true that in super high elo, he's not a very good champion, but below master tier, he is an amazing champion for SoloQ. Good damage in lane, he can provide a lot of utility to the team even from behind, so if you ever thought about maining Mordekaiser, he is a good champion for SoloQ. The second champion for SoloQ that is super good on top lane is Poppy. I know some of you guys, you hate tanks, but trust me, she's actually really fun. Not only that she's a fun champion, but she's also very good. She does not have bad matchups on the top lane. She's pretty tanky later, so annoying for the enemy team, and well, good for climbing, obviously. So if you want to pick her up and you like the champion, you should definitely give her a try, as she's very good in the meta. The third champion that was always good for top lane in SoloQ, whether you're in Bronze 4 or maybe you're in Master Tier or Challenger, is Shen. Why? Well, it's easy. He has really good laning phase, he's good from behind, he can be blind pickable for SoloQ, he's a very good champion in the meta, especially for SoloQ. Itemization is okay for him, so why not? He's a really good champion overall, so if you thinking about playing him, then you will end up being successful with your climbing playing Shen. The next role is mid lane. In this current patch, the assassins were getting a bit of a buff, but let's see if the assassins are still the best for SoloQ. The best champion on mid lane in the current meta, whether you are in Iron or Bronze or even if you are in high elo, is Vex. The champion simply does not have to play many bad matchups. He didn't really get nerfed at all in the last patches like the other mid laners. So if you want the fun, easy to carry champ to climb the ladder, then Vex is your best bet. The second champion that is very underrated and no one knows that she's so good for solo queue is Nico. The champion has a very good carry potential in the later stages, especially with having the flash up. She has a good laning, pretty good damage, and she is very flexible and versatile with itemization, being able to go both Everfrost and Rock Belt. If you like the champion and you want to pick her up, she can definitely be a good option for solo queue. The last option for mid lane is a champion that can carry very hard without needing you to know much about the game, if that makes sense. If you want to pick an easy champion, if you want to pick up a pretty versatile champion on mid lane, you want to just chill, farm and win games, then Seraphim is a very good option. She might not be the most enjoyable champion in the world, but she can definitely help you with winning more in solo queue. Moving on to the jungle role. The best champion for solo queue for jungle until pretty much master tier is Volibear. This champion was getting hit a lot, but it does not matter. He was getting hit a lot in the last patches, but he is still an amazing champion for solo queue, as many people will die against his ganks. Even though Riot tried to nerf him a lot in the last patches, he is still the top 3 junglers for solo queue because of his clear in relationship to his ability to go for good ganks. The second really good champion for solo queue is Rexa. Not many people play her in the lower brackets, but trust me guys, above Diamond and Master tier, people are abusing Rexa, so if you can put in the hours to learn how her tunnel works, get maybe 50 to 60 more games on her, mastering this champion can give you a really good climbing as she's very rewarding. The third solo queue monster for jungle is Shyvana. She's extremely OP in the later stages as her itemization allows her to be very tanky. In the early game you just have to pretty much AFK farm and chill, and you will pop off basically in the later stages of the game. So if you want a chill champion in the jungle, a champion that will reward you for playing slow, then she is your best bet. Guys, remember that this is just a very limited tier list, so if you want to get access to the full tier list, full exclusive tier list with every single champion that is good for this patch, go ahead and check out my Patreon for more tier lists, VODs and special exclusive content. I will link in the description my Patreon.